This week, the boys at TIA capture the new Flex angle grinder in action.
Both EGO and Ryobi mow the lawn, and somehow Festool makes it onto the show.
And Sarah's back! This is your Power Tool Week in Review. This week's episode is sponsored by Flex, OhioPowerTool, and Keeps. Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob. For the first time in 6 weeks, this smile is real because Sarah's back.
Aw, did you miss me?
Of course I did. Especially how you normally do your share of the work.
There it is. Well, we have a bunch of news and reviews to get to this week, starting with Dave over in the Man Cave, who shared his experience with Milwaukee's handy baby chainsaw.
They don't call it a baby it's a hacksaw.
Does it have a chain?
Yes, but I mean,
Okay, is it a saw?
yes.
Is it the smallest saw that you've ever seen?
Yes,
Baby
but
chainsaw! He shared his experience with the baby M12 chainsaw, and sometimes the best tool reviews need the least amount of explanation, especially when Dave says something like this.
Crazy. Seriously, this little guy is the shiznit, so.
To see the baby chainsaw shiznit for yourself, head over to ManCaverTools.
I actually got to meet Dave last week at the OPT event.
Oh, was that fun?
Yeah, the whole thing was really awesome. I got to meet a bunch of cool people. I heard a ton of cool stories. And actually, I kind of hope we get to do it again soon.
I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, well, if you'd stop abandoning people.
I had a baby!
The guys over at Toolsinaction got their hands on the all-new Flex angle grinder, and they seem more than pleased. They each spent some time with the tool covering a variety of applications, and after they decided they liked it, they sent it next door to the car shop to see what the mechanics thought. Everyone seemed to agree it had plenty of power, but the most popular feature was the blade guard that can be easily adjusted without any additional tools. For the full review, head over to Toolsinaction.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy to be back at this desk.
Well, either that or you're just happy not to be pregnant anymore.
That's it. The boys at TorqueTestChannel have been reviewing pneumatic right angle impact wrenches for a while, but this time decided to try out a cordless solution. But after a quick search, they realized their only real options were a Milwaukee M12 and a Kobalt brushless 24 volt. And the story here is far more interesting than I expected. One of these solutions claims a big number on its box, while the other claims a small one at a much lower price. And while the results make them both wrong, they shocked the TTC guys as much as they shocked us. You're gonna like this video. Go watch it at the Torque Test channel.
We've never featured 731 Woodworks on our show before, mainly because the vast majority of his videos are build projects, but I've enjoyed watching his content for a long time. This week, he shared a fantastic review of a new Festool vac and sander that he was gifted by a fan. Did you hear that, guys? He was gifted by a fan.
Do not send Rob anything.
That's actually good advice. I'm kind of spoiled. Anyways, Matt took a break from building amazing woodworking projects to take a long, appreciative look at his new toy. Something that makes this a really great review was that he first shot his unboxing and initial impressions, and then waited 3 months later to record the results. This allowed him to share his long-term experience, which almost made me want to get back into Festool. Then I remembered I had 2 kids instead, and they ain't cheap. If you've ever wondered if the high prices of Festool are worth it, this is a great opportunity to get the detailed experience of someone who spent a lot of time with the brand using it as intended. You can watch the full thing over at 731 Woodworks.
I love the end of that video. Matt actually got choked up thanking the guy who sent him the tool. It was a genuine moment that you don't really see on YouTube.
I agree.
Moving across the ocean to the UK, the boys at Hayes Machinery, which Rob apparently found while I was gone, got one of the very first EGO Z6 zero turns and decided to let loose in their garden.
Now, a garden is what they call their yard, right?
I really hope so, otherwise those veggies are definitely gonna get pre-diced. I got to watch a bunch of the OPE reviews these guys have posted, and they're spectacular. And the Z6 review is no different. You know how sometimes you can tell that someone really loves what they're doing? These guys love tools, and it shows. In their review, they cover every single functional detail of the EGO, put it to the test, and even examine the quality of cut. We've been using our own Z6 this year, and a lot of what they loved, we love as well. If you're on the edge about spending this much on a truly premium lawn mowing experience, go watch the review at Hayes Machinery. And if you happen to live in the UK, they can sell you one too.
Before we go any further, I promised you guys at the beginning that I'd tell you the story of how Sarah and I met.
You did?
It all happened a long time ago.
5 years was not a long
time ago. But I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, we're doing flashbacks?
Sarah was a preschool teacher and my son was in her class. I was just a part of the endless parade of dads, but something about me caught Sarah's eye.
What?
it was my hair.
What?
I remember her saying, "Whoa, that's some great hair."
I did not.
And I understood. My hair was always opening doors everywhere I went. So I told Sarah, "Hey, let's go." And we went.
That's the dumbest.
And ever since that day, our channel has continued to grow and grow and grow. Mainly because of how great my hair is.
Okay.
Do you have great hair too? Then you know what I'm talking about.
What does it mean?
A fantastic head of hair will bring success everywhere it goes, which is why it's so important to keep it. Thank goodness for Keeps!
A commercial?
Keeps is a subscription service that makes it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness.
This whole thing was an ad?
2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35.
That was like 20 years ago for you. I'm sorry, I was kidding. I thought we were being funny, I'm sorry.
The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have amazing hair left. And Keeps makes it really easy. You'll get advice from a licensed doctor who will help you choose the right product for your hair, and your treatment shipped directly to your door every 3 months.
That seems reasonable.
Oh, so now you're helping?
I'm sorry, I still don't know for sure what we're doing.
If you have any questions, you can message your Keeps doctor 24/7, and you'll track your progress with the Keeps Progress Tracking Tool.
Is it affordable?
It sure is. It's more affordable because Keeps offers the generic version of the FDA-approved medication.
Well, I'm sold. What do I do next?
Be a dude.
I was asking for the group.
Prevention is key, and it can take up to 4 to 6 months to start seeing results. So you want to act today.
Can we help them save some money?
Just head to keeps.com/beltsandboxes to receive 50% off your first order. And do it soon, because we all know it's the hair that gets them.
Okay, that's enough.
Want to split logs?
What a great transition.
Mark Thomas brought out another unique tool this week, this time a SplitFire 2265 Honda-powered log splitter. I've never cared much about log splitters until we moved out here, where now it seems I have a new tree fall every time it rains, and I'm splitting way too many pieces of firewood with a chainsaw. Mark said he originally rented one of these nearly 10 years ago, and he's been hooked on them ever since. This new version has a log lifter, which gets more and more useful as you get older, and it clearly has no problem splitting wood, especially when paired up with generic orchestral rock. Now, a tool with this kind of power does not come cheap, ringing in at nearly $3,500 when specced out like Mark's. But if you're going to be splitting a crap ton of wood, the SplitFire is clearly up to the task.
The Z6 wasn't the only battery-powered zero-turn we ran into this week. Tim over at Shoptoolreviews got his hands on the Ryobi 48-volt brushless 54-inch zero-turn. At first glance, the Ryobi looks similar to the EGO and even comes in at the exact same price. But the biggest difference is in the battery technology. While the EGO runs on the same high-end lithium-ion battery packs that all EGO tools use, the Ryobi runs on 4 large 12-volt lead-acid batteries that run in series making 48 volts. And those lead-acid batteries are only warranted for 1 year. But besides that, Tim was really impressed with the power and performance of the 5 high-powered brushless motors, quiet operation, and convenience of not dealing with gas, oil, belts, or pulleys. For the full review, head over to Shoptoolreviews.
You know, every time we visit the Mechanical Hub, we learn something new and typically find a tool that makes us want to be plumbers or HVAC pros. This week, no different, as Eric demoed a Rems Cento pipe cutter. This thing's a benchtop pipe cutter that Eric mounted to his packout stack. It's got a base of rollers for holding your pipe, while an adjustable cutter raises or lowers, allowing you to cut pipe up to a 4-inch diameter. It can cut copper, stainless steel, steel tubing, iron pipes, and plastic, just about any kind of pipe you'd want to cut. It has a foot pedal on-off switch, and as you can see, it makes quick work of just about anything you put on it. Again, I don't cut a lot of pipe. Matter of fact, I haven't cut any pipe this week.
Rob.
Okay, this year. These last few years.
There you go.
But somehow, I need this tool.
Of course you do.
Eric walks us through cutting several different materials, talks about additional options, and even a few limitations. If you want to cut some pipe this weekend, be sure to head over to Mechanical Hub before you do.
And last but not least, our friends over at OhioPowerTool continued a new series called Right Tool for the Job. And this week they're testing 5 different Igloo coolers to find out which one is right for you and your job site. To do that, they filled each one with ice and then let them sit for days and days until the ice finally melts. Now, I don't usually need a cooler to keep things cool for days, but sure enough, some of these coolers kept ice for 5 freaking days. I had no idea. Their test room even got up to 78 degrees at one point, which I believe, because if you've watched the show from the beginning, you'll recognize that background. That's the room where our show started nearly 4 years ago. And yeah, that room gets hot. So if you're looking for a new cooler that will stay cold longer than you could possibly need it to, head over to OhioPowerTool for the best choice.
Last week we got a sneak peek at the future of Milwaukee, which you can watch right here. I want to thank Flex, OhioPowerTool, and Keeps for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do it without you.
If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, and if you loved it, we hope that you subscribe.
Now, have a safe weekend. We'll see you next week.